Yes, back again. City are back. Been in action the last week or so. Two results to go through. Couple of transfer business as well. Yeah, hit the like button. Helps other City fans find the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's get into this week in the world of City. Yeah, let's go. So, starting off, a couple of days ago, last Wednesday, about 5-6 days ago at this point, last Wednesday, Super Cup final. 1-1, penalties. I was not confident. Penalties for Manchester City, but we came out on top. Very good penalties from both sides, bar Kyle Walker's. All of Sevilla's penalties were really good. Usually, if I was a goalkeeper, I'd always go to their instep. So if it's a right footer, I'm diving to the keeper's right, but to a player's left. But that usually works 7 out of 10 times. But they went the other way this time, so really good penalties on their behalf. Right in the corner as well. Most of the Cities were good as well, bar Kyle Walker's, like I said, but it does not matter. We won the Super Cup, first time in our history. Well, because the Champions League is first time in our history as well, but first time, first trophy of the season, first proper trophy of the season in the bag. That's good. But this game had a bit of an impact on the Newcastle game, or so I thought. I thought this would leave us a bit tired and we get bullied by Newcastle, in fairness. I thought that's what was going to happen. But we had a different just story in mind, which I'll get onto. But the Super Cup, no John Stones, no Ruben Diaz, I'm pretty sure. Gvardiol made his debut, loving all his touches, just in love with that man. Him and Diaz at the back are going to be a saucy centre-back pairing, but not even with the sauce, just with pure robustness. Gvardiol's got a bit of sauce on the ball, to be fair to him. He can dribble a little bit, but pure ruggedness. I'll get onto the Newcastle game in a second. Can't wait to talk about that. Can't wait to talk about the Super Cup. Actually, no, the Super Cup, Sevilla went ahead. It didn't feel like an actual game. Maybe it's just because we never played this game before. It felt like a pre-season game. That was just the way I felt. But when we won the fight, the penalty smacked off the crossbar, I leapt up out of my seat. I was just like, where's this emotion come out of? I thought it was just a friendly or whatnot, but no. Jumped up out of my seat, punch in the air, just get in, first trophy of the season. Get that Charity Shield loss out of the way, because we've got an actual trophy now. An actual trophy, not a dinner plate. But yeah, very good. The game actually wasn't too good itself. There was a lot of problems coming out of that game. More problems, more negatives than there was positive, I'd say. Phil in the midfield wasn't really working on that right-hand side. I thought we should move him. I'd noticed in the second half that he switched to the left side, switched with Kova, and then he just seemed to be a lot much better on the left there. Maybe it's the link up with Grealish. Maybe it's just the way he receives the ball. I don't know, because the Newcastle game was a different story altogether. Then, as I said, I get on to that. Lots to talk about the Newcastle game, but Sevilla, yeah. Shining light was Cole Palmer. Excellent finish, just like his Charity Shield goal. Cole Palmer, I really like the guy. If he stays, will he go? I'll also get on to that as well in the transfer news, but I keep smacking my hands. I know I do it a lot, but yeah. Cole Palmer, excellent finish, and then that just gave him the confidence to start just, playing with the ball. Bit of sauce on the ball, fake turning, an unbelievable fake shot just on the edge of the box. Yeah, he didn't score anything, but it just shows the confidence on the ball after that goal. I don't even know if it was before or after the goal, but man was brimming with confidence. He was fake turning in the middle of the pitch, trying to knock it past his man and go down the line. Then yeah, I just love the confidence from him. I love those sort of players. Even if things don't work out, they still have the confidence to do things on the ball. That's what you want from players. That's what you need from players. But yeah, confidence on the ball. Yeah, he was doing really nice stuff. So yeah, good going from Cole Palmer. Kind of hope he goes on a season-long loan or not permanently sold, because I want him to come back at City. He really should be getting Riyad Mahrez more minutes with Riyad Mahrez going. But looks like we're bringing in another winger. Get on to that, like I said, transfer video. But Super Cup main points. Main points are Rodri, Rodri. He's the best player in the world. He's the best in the world, lad. Yeah, best in the world. Yeah, I actually just think he should get the Ballon d'Or. Rodri is the best player in the world. There is no one better at football than that man. He can do it all. He can defend. He can keep the game ticking. He can tackle. His spatial awareness is good. And now he's attacking. He can drive and dribble with the ball. He can just hold players off. He's got the physicality for it. And now he's just constantly just dinking balls left and right and attacking wise. It was his assist for the Cole Palmer goal. He just loves dinking them over the back line for those right-handed side runners at the back post. He's really picking them out a lot recently. So yeah, he can attack, he can defend, he can do it all. He's fitness. He's always available. The man is going to get ran into the ground this season as well. He thought he was playing less. He thought he wasn't playing. He thought he wasn't resting last year. Well, newsflash, but he won't resting this year either. And Calvin Phillips, who knows? I'll talk about him transfer. But yeah, Super Cup, Rodri, best in the world. Cole Palmer, bring with the confidence. I like that. Probably will forget the game in the future, but we won the trophy. That's all that matters. Yes. Alright. That's Super Cup down. Next game was Newcastle. I had worries going into it. Not gonna lie. Thought the squad is too thin. KDB out. Lack of creativity from the Super Cup led me to believe Haaland may not get the chances, which he may have not got in the Newcastle game, but he played a different role. Maybe that wasn't planned, but he ended up playing with anyway. So yeah, thought we were going to get bullied because Newcastle battered Aston Villa the week before, but we dominated that game. I can't even remember if Newcastle had a sniff of a chance. But yeah, dominated possession, just so many good performances. Kovacic was unbelievable, like he was in the Super Cup. City fans are really starting to clock on to how good this guy is. He's the Gundogan replacement in the middle of the park. Maybe not the attacking wise, even though his vertical balls to Erling Haaland, his vertical balls, line breaking passes are really good. And City fans start to take notice because of the assist. Phil Foden receives the ball and then drives a little bit, fake passes it in with his weaker foot to Julian Alvarez, whose finish was emphatic. The boy does nothing but emphatic finishes. I don't know if he scored many tap-ins, but they're all Aguero-esque. Emphatic is the word for Julian Alvarez's finishes. Whether the keeper got a hand to it or not, they're just emphatic finishes. There's nothing more, nothing less about it. But like we do criticise, well I do sometimes, he's always shooting, but like I said in previous videos before, he shoots a lot because if they're on target, they're more than likely going in. They're either blocked or on target, they're in. Yeah, that's why he spoons some wide. That's why I criticise him for spooning wide. But I know the pros and cons of Julian Alvarez's shots. If they're on target, they're more than likely going in or creating havoc. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I was on about the Kovacic pass, line breaking pass. Just the confidence to play that vertical to Phil Foden in between the lines. That's why I love Kovacic's burst of acceleration to get away from players. Doing that multiple times, yeah. I think he's going to be a mainstay in the team now. He'll also play Rodri. Well, he'll also play it in the minutes in the sixth position when Rodri needs a rest. I guarantee. I'm pretty sure of it. So he's kind of replaced Gundogan in the first 2/3 of the pitch. DM, slot, and CM. If he adds late runs and goal scoring ability onto he's just a complete Gundogan replacement, but I don't think he's quite there yet. But yeah, Kovacic, unreal. Like he was in the Super Cup. I forgot to mention him. Phil Foden, boom! Masterclass in midfield. Really showing levels. Really, showing levels is what he can do in that midfield space. Just receiving in between the lines, getting away from players, creating multiple chances for Erling Haaland, who had a shocker of a performance. Absolutely stank the gaff up. But yeah, Phil Foden could have had way more assists if Erling Haaland had his shooting boots on. But yeah, Phil Foden, 10 out of 10 performance. Really, he's had a few doubters the last couple of weeks. A couple of videos ago, I said if he gets game time, regular game time, he will prove the doubters wrong. And he's done it 2 games in. Super Cup, iffy. He was kind of playing a right-sided CM role. This time he was playing number 10 it seemed. He was floating both sides of the pitch, which just he seemed to revel in. Up against a Newcastle midfield like that as well is impressive stuff. So Phil Foden, the PR has ramped up with him ever since the Newcastle game. Now he's getting praise from everyone. Everyone's loving it. Pundits, the like. There's no more doubts. Even Gary Lineker's tweeting. Yeah, no more doubts about this guy. Saka comparisons, I don't care. Saka's actually a quite good winger, so it is what it is. But Foden will show his levels when the season is finished. I'm not sure if he's available for the Young Player of the Year anymore, but who cares? He will show his levels once this season is out, like he just done against a very strong Newcastle team. But yeah, that's Phil Foden. We'll talk about Erling Haaland for a second. Negatives, no shooting boots on today. So, yeah, another day, on another day he scores about 2 or 3. Okay, we're just not going to harper on about the negatives because it was a positive game. We won 1-0 against a very good Newcastle side. People may have missed this positive about him. It was before the goal as well, or even afterwards. I noticed it. Especially for one of the chances, I think Phil or Alvarez got on the right hand side in the second half. It was Erling Haaland. Just the amount of people he takes with him, especially for the Julian Alvarez goal. Both of Newcastle's back two were pinned on him, so he ran towards the far post, leaves that space for Julian Alvarez, who has no one around him to close him down, who just pings it top left corner. Even if, because Haaland has brought 2 players with him, if there was only 1 player on him, even the other centre back closest to Alvarez should have been able to come across and block a shot that was going in the top left corner. But the fact he's brought 2 out with him, Erling Haaland, it just gives Julian Alvarez to pick which corner he wants to go to. They are vital seconds that the other centre-back tried to cover that allowed Julian Alvarez to ping it into that left-hand corner. So it's a bit of the Luis Suarez, what he used to do for Liverpool and Barcelona back in the day. A lot of his runs were never to be receiving the ball. It's just literally to drag players out of position so other players can run into, and that, or even just to shoot to. Luis Suarez used to do it loads back in the day. So Erling Haaland done that, especially for Julian Alvarez's goal, but I noticed it again, a proper one this time. Haaland might have actually been running to the back post to like get across or something, but that he may have inadvertently dragged 2 people with him. But in the second half, he just made a proper run across the goal, just to take defenders away, which you could tell by the way he ran. He just ran because he was obviously wanted to pass it out to the right winger, whoever was out there, if it was Kyle Walker, Alvarez or Foden. He made the run the opposite direction, brought the 2 defenders with him, and then the other defender that was left had to choose between whoever was running in the right wing and whoever was in that kind of second striker role. So it just gave the passer options, which we didn't score from, but it's just still noticing things about Erling Haaland's style of play, which may go unnoticed, which I want to give positives to. Because on another day, I'd be slating him for not scoring. And sometimes rightly so that other people could slate him for not scoring because he didn't score on this day. But it's nice to just, from myself, just to not negatively pepper our players negatively the whole time. So I'm going to notice that those runs that he was making today. Yeah, Erling Haaland, you'll score at Sheffield. You'll score at Sheffield, yeah. Okay, that was Newcastle. 1-0 win, another clean sheet by the way. That's 2 Premier League clean sheets in a row. Ederson actually, reminds me, Ederson passing unbelievable against Newcastle today. Yeah, really good actually one-on-one saves. I said Newcastle didn't get chances early on, but that's actually a lie because Ederson had to make a good few saves, a good few one-on-ones coming off his line. He's really stepped up since the Champions League. Really has stepped up. Also in the Newcastle game, my man Josko Gvardiol, 1-on-1, 3-on-1 or 5-on-1. They're all gonna need 9-1-1. Doesn't matter how many players that's a chill sound call if any of you know that. Rate is if you do, but yeah. 3 attackers, 1 Josko Gvardiol. Who's coming out on top? It's my man Josko Gvardiol every day of the week. Yeah, Rodri gave it away, bad pass, 3-on-1 Newcastle. Little bit of bad play from, I think it was Callum Wilson, but Josko Gvardiol, just the split second, the sense to know defending. He was backtracking. That's what you should be doing. Van Dijk does it a lot, kind of then shadow him onto his weaker side and lets other players actually come back. But he was backtracking, and boom, he's seen a little mistouch from Callum Wilson, and boom, straight in. Didn't actually get the tackle, but he kind of poked Callum Wilson wide off his track, off his balance, which then allowed other players to come back and Callum Wilson to lose his stride and his pace, and the attack broke down. Brilliant defending from Josko Gvardiol. I'm going to hype up everything he does this year, so get on board with it. Him, Mateo Kovacic, Croatian excellence at the Etihad. I've been wanting it for ages. I've got it now. All praise. Thank the Lord, yes. So that was the Newcastle game. 1-0, very good. And also Ruben Dias is back. That's nice to see. Of course we keep clean sheet. Of course we're just so much more solid at the back when we have Ruben Dias. So yeah, great stuff all around. 1-0 win versus Newcastle, 1-0 draw versus Sevilla, but we got the trophy anyway. So yeah, great week was results-wise by Manchester City. Alright, on to transfer news now. We've got Aymeric Laporte confirmed he's leaving Manchester City, not by the club now, but confirmed. We got the here we go. Having medicals will Al Nassr, 25 million. He was supposed to be going for 16 million last week, so it's a little bit better, but it's a horrendous price for a world-class centre-back. It's just like, it's ridiculous the price he's going for. He's making more money than he's leaving for. It's a disgraceful price, but it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. He's gone now. Great servant for the club. Really put his hamstrings or injuries on the line 2 seasons ago at the end of the 21-22 season. He basically played on one leg and seen us out for the title, which I commend him for that. A great servant for the club. Ever since his first game, just pinging switches to West Bromwich Albion. Yeah, we just knew from the start what we were getting, what we were buying. Yeah, really good servant. Shame about the price. Shame it's ended this way. That he didn't get to play more than he wanted. But I like the guy. No qualms against him. Going to Al Nassr, make the bag, play with Ronaldo. Yeah, you do you, son. Do your thing. Yeah, and we'll see you soon. Or we'll be watching. We'll be keeping an eye out for you. But yeah, that's the outgoings. Anyone else? Calvin Phillips has just been linked today, which is Monday, the 21st of August. Just been linked with Liverpool today. Could be going on loan there. Apparently City want to revive his career. Whether that means just personally as a good gesture to revive his career, or to revive his Manchester City career, like his confidence, so he comes back a better player next year. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Or maybe it's just to build up his price so someone actually buys him then. If he performs at a club like Liverpool, that's going to boost his price for someone to buy him again. Money moves. But then even though Calvin Phillips doesn't play, we're still left with one less player in the midfield, which is why I said Mateo Kovacic will get 6 minutes or will get minutes in the 6th position, DM position. Yeah, you know what I mean. Calvin Phillips, yeah, another body gone. We're going to have to get another body in. I think we will get a midfielder. I don't know who. I want Florian Wirtz. Just spunk 100 million on him. Don't care. If the FA charges get dropped on Paqueta, we'll definitely get him for sure. But I don't think they will. FA just take the time in it. And if he's convicted, that man is going to prison for sure. Oh, yeah, that's match fixing. That's fraud like. So yeah, midfielders, I'm not too confident on one coming in. But breaking news, here we go. You've all seen it. What's his face? Jeremy Doku is coming into Manchester City. £55 million. A little bit more than we were expecting. They were asking 55 to 60 million euros. Fabrizio said last night, Sunday, there was like 51 million package. But I think it's 55 million package, and I think it'll be a more favourable structured payment plan. That's why it's a little bit more, I'm guessing. So pay less over in multiple installments is what I'm thinking. But Jeremy Doku, I wasn't on board with it at the start. You probably know why if you've seen the previous Jeremy Doku video. He's pure pace and power. He's not tech like I've been on about last time, which is what Man City have been building towards. That's kind of why I didn't think it'd happen. But I'm gassed it's happening now. Imagine Jeremy Doku's absolute raucous pace coming off the bench. We're even starting against tired legs. That's a dream and a half. I've been missing it since, especially Raheem Sterling's performance on Sunday. Great performance from Sterling. It just made you miss the pace and power that we used to be at Manchester City. He's going to fly by defenders. He's going to commit to players. He's going to probably cause two people double marking or two defenders to mark him, which leaves more space for others. He's going to get penalties. Yeah, he's going to score goals. He's going to get assists off that right-hand side. Raheem Sterling his best position used to be on the right because he could power pass players and just fizz it across the box to a striker. But hoping we see some more of that from Jeremy Doku. Yeah, I'm very excited now. 55, 60 million. Probably we added a little bit more because we're not using the Paqueta money now. That's what I'm assuming. And we'll actually have less to spend on a midfielder now, is my guess. But Jeremy Doku, I'm actually well excited for it now. I'm hoping he's going to bring goals. He's going to bring assists. in a Manchester City side, but then you say that about Grealish, but he doesn't. But I think Jeremy Doku is just a different type of player. He's actually able to dribble past players. Probably not the most emphatic finisher or the most accomplished finisher, but I think he'll bang in. I think he'll bang in more than Grealish, to be fair. Jack Grealish might have a bit of pressure, might up his game as well. Jeremy Doku will be able to play off the left and the right. I'm like, yeah, he can play off the left and right. So it's a really good sign. Versatile, young, 21 years old. KDB had mentioned him to the club years ago. We've been linked years ago since he's about 18, 19. I know that's for sure. Since before the last Euros. I've said all this in my previous video. But yeah, linked for a while. We finally get our man. Fabrizio is here. We got it. Everyone else has jumped it or has reported as well. So Jeremy Doku, welcome to the club. Manchester City. 55, 60 million, let's go. So regarding transfers, that just leaves actually Walker contract and Bernardo contract to be signed within the next couple of weeks. And that's great news. That's such good news. I've said a couple of videos that I really didn't want them to leave. The two of them. But yeah, regarding other transfer news incomings, it's really only after this. It's do we buy a midfielder? We're going to be rushing. We're going to be panicking. We're not used to panicking, but then again, we also have a really good squad stacked with talent. But you see the bench the last couple of days, it's all youth players, as well as Calvin Phillips and Stefan Ortega and Sergio Gomez. So it's a very weak bench because we've got Bernardo illness. We got Stones out for until after the international break now, and we've got KDB long term. So we may panic to get a midfielder. We'll see who that is. We currently don't know. We did rumoured to ask Bayer Leverkusen about we've inquired about Bayer Leverkusen. We've inquired about Florian Wirtz is what I'm trying to say. Don't know if we'll even submit a bid for him. Danny Olmo is no longer happening. That went off the table very quickly. He's staying at Leipzig. We may go back in next year, but then Paqueta might be on the deal next year. On the table next year, Florian Wirtz might be on the table next year. Florian Wirtz wants to stay at Bayern Leverkusen to ensure he gets the minutes to get into the Germany squad. Can we offer those minutes to him? Who knows? We may convince him, we may not. Will we have the money to spend on Florian Wirtz now after kind of a little overpaid for Jeremy Doku? But let's see what happens. It will be a panic buy more than likely, but will it be a good one? That's to be seen. That's for Manchester City to decide. But yeah, that's the transfer news. That's the results news from the last week. We got Sheffield United coming up at the weekend. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about the first trophy of the season. No, we know your thoughts. That's a good game. Give me your thoughts on the Newcastle game. Phil Foden, masterclass. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Should he just be permanently a midfielder now? I think you will agree with me, he should. And yeah, let me know who you think we'll get midfielder in the midfield as well. Yeah, let me all know down below. Yeah, like I said at the start of the video, hit the like button. Helps other City fans find the video, find the channel, helps me out, etc. And subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you next time. Peace.